Wanted to bring you kind of an interesting, noteworthy development in efforts to organize a union at an Amazon warehouse down in Alabama. Let's put this up on the screen. So there has been a push from Amazon to keep the voting on a union in person versus voting by mail. They don't want them to be able to vote by mail. Why is this funny and ironic? Well, of course, Amazon owned by Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos also owns the Washington Post, which was, rightly, a major proponent of vote by mail when it came to the election. But when it comes to their workers, apparently it is a different story.
Listen to this quote from Amazon spokesperson Heather Knox. She says, "We believe the best approach to a valid, fair, successful election is one that is conducted manually in person, making it easy for associates to verify and cast their votes in close proximity to their workplace." Very interesting there. So Amazon is now for in-person voting and putting their employees at risk at their warehouse, but then the paper owned by Jeff Bezos is all talking about how vote by mail is totally safe and all that. So which is it?
They were right on that count.
Yeah, it is safe, by the way. And so what is this actually about? You want less people to vote. You want to make it harder for those people to unionize. Of course, it's a good thing the NLRB came down on the side of the union workers and they will be voting by mail, but it just goes to show they'll stop at nothing. They'll stoop at nothing. Jeff Bezos is for vote by mail in order to get Joe Biden elected, but when it comes to his own unionized employees, no way.
Well, and here's the other reason why they want them to be there in person, because they use all kinds of tactics, intimidation tactics, some of which, are technically legal. Oftentimes, these companies go way over the bounds of what is actually legal in these unionization drives. They threaten, they coerce, they harass, they intimidate, all of those things. If you're not in person, if you're not there in the warehouse, it's a lot harder to effectuate these union-busting drives that Amazon is absolutely expert at. And this election is really, really significant. So first of all, it's in the South. South, historically hostile to union organizing. So that's one piece that's really significant. And to the best of my knowledge, this would be in the U.S. the only union organized group within Amazon. Obviously, they have massive number of people who work for them, both white collar and blue collar. They've come under fire, rightly so, for safety and health and workplace violations. So for workers to be able to have that solidarity, be able to push back against some of the really inhumane practices that are commonplace at Amazon warehouses would be really significant. We've, of course, talked to Chris Smalls here, who's a great advocate and activist who was smeared from the highest levels of Amazon for daring to lead a protest at one of these Amazon warehouses in New York. We've also covered how they have hired literal Pinkerton goons to make sure that they disrupt union organizing efforts such as these. They hire internal spies and informants to, again, disrupt organization drives exactly like these. So don't fool yourselves. This is about 6,000 workers who would be who are part of this effort. Don't fool yourselves. It's a massively uphill climb. Like, the landscape for being able to form a union and organize as a union in this country is so incredibly lopsided and difficult. Amazon expert at keeping it from happening. So the odds are really long here, but still a little glimmer and really interesting to follow.
No, you're right. And you were the one who showed me this, one of my favorites. So they have heat maps in Whole Foods stores in order to make sure they know whether too many employees are congregating. It's like Black Mirror level episodes of dystopia.
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to note about this, because I think this is really important for the overall story. This warehouse is in an area in it's Bessemer, Alabama. It opened just as COVID arrived in the U.S. This is from the New York Times. And this is an area the local economy used to depend on steel industry jobs. Those have largely disappeared and gone overseas. So Amazon comes in, pledged to hire 1,500 people. Huge boon to the local economy. They exert all kinds of control over the local politics. And of course, when you have so few other options for employment, then they really have you in a bind. They're like, well, what else are you going to do? You've got no other options. So that's also part of the important landscape here.
That's right.
Tomorrow on Rising, Jennifer Holdsworth and Rachel Bovard are going to be here for Team Rising.
That's right. And friend of the show, DC Bureau Chief of The Intercept, Ryan Grimm, he's back, plus host of The Humanist Report, is going to join us. You don't want to miss that. And remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. Don't forget to like and share as well. And we will see you all tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys.